Dude, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the tight ends and what tight ends will make the Redskins roster in 2020. So let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, my Washington Redskins, or should I say our Washington Redskins. And let's get straight into today's video. So today's video, like I said in the intro, is that we're going to be talking about the tight ends, man, because we know we have a lot of tight ends on this roster. Tight end is probably the weakest spot on this team, and we need to really address that. And not every tight end that we have on this roster is going to make the team. So if you hear, in my opinion, that one of the persons that you think we're going to make the roster gets cut, in my opinion, hey, it might happen, and that's life. He might have to find his job somewhere else, and it might not be here in Washington. So let's go over the tight ends that we have on the roster currently. So as of right now, we have Jeremy Sprinkle, of course, Hill Hedges. We signed Richard Rodgers, and we signed Logan Thomas of Virginia Tech Hoya, and we also signed undrafted free agent Thaddeus Moss, who is a fan favorite, son of Randy Moss, and who many think will be the Week 1 starter. So out of all those guys, that is 5 tight ends, and the Panthers, and just like the Redskins, Redskins always kept 3 tight ends, and the Panthers also kept 3 tight ends. So I think that they still will still be in that trend to only keep 3 tight ends. So that means there's going to be 2 people that get cut. Who will those 2 people be? I'm going to tell you guys. Now here, of course, we have a fan favorite in Thaddeus Moss that a lot of people want and think that he will be on this team come Week 1, but his spot isn't given. His spot isn't given by a long shot. He was undrafted for a reason. Some say that he should have went in like the 5th or maybe even the 6th round, but the injury that he sustained at the combine prevented him from going drafted. So his spot isn't guaranteed by a long shot. Now I know your name is Moss, but that doesn't mean you play like your dad. So we have Thaddeus Moss. We have my favorite tight end also in Hill Hedges, who was my favorite tight end, and we have Logan Thomas, which seems to be the coaching staff's favorite tight end, who they believe will be the Week 1 starter. After I just went over that leaves someone out, and who are those 2 people I think is going to be out? And I think the 2 people that are going to be out is Richard Rodgers and Jeremy Sprinkle. Jeremy Sprinkle. Now, before you clown me and say, man, what is this guy talking about? Hear me out. Hear me out. Jeremy Sprinkle, we gave him 3 years. We gave him 3 years, and he's really been underperforming all 3 years. He has some okay games here and there, but his hands, man, his hands is just not good. It's just not good. His blocking is decent. But he drops too many passes. And this NFL's game nowadays, you need tight ends that are going to catch the ball and be a threat in the passing game. And I just don't think Jeremy Sprinkle gives us that option as him being the tight end here in Washington, especially with the new offense that we're going to be running in Air Coryell, which is heavy passing and involves the tight end a lot. I think we need someone with a better route running and catching and speed than Jeremy Sprinkle. So I think that's the first odd man out in Jeremy Sprinkle. Like I said, I could totally be wrong here, but this is just my opinion. This is what I think is going to happen in training camp. I just think all the other guys are going to outwork him to get a spot on this roster. Now the second man out is going to be this should be obvious. I personally think it's going to be Richard Rodgers. Richard Rodgers, we just signed him for depth. We signed him for a camp body, in my opinion. I just don't think he's going to make the team. He's been hurt for quite some time. He was on IR last year for the whole season. I just don't think he's going to make it on this roster. I don't even know if he's still 100% healthy yet. And I just think he's a camp body, to fill up that roster. It's a 55-man roster now, so we're probably going to keep 4 tight ends, in my opinion. So if we do end up keeping 4, which I think we're going to keep 3, but if we do end up keeping 4, then Jeremy Sprinkle might be the 4th tight end. But if not, then I think we're going to be keeping 3, of course, like we normally do. So Richard Rodgers, I think he's just going to be the odd man out. And I just don't think that he's going to be doing enough to sustain a spot on this Washington Redskins team. Now that leads me to the 3 tight ends that I think will make the roster, and that is Thaddeus Moss, Logan Thomas, and Hill Hedges. And why I say that is because all 3 of those guys are really really great has really great ball catching ability. Now I know Hill Hedges, he had a couple games he didn't really have no shine, but he came in late in the season and he caught about 2 touchdown passes and had a solid game versus Dallas. And I really like what Hill Hedges bring. I really think he deserves a spot on this roster, and I think he really can be a talent for the long run. You know, he's an Alabama guy. You know how we are about our Alabama guys. So I think that he deserves a spot on this roster here in DC. I also believe that Logan Thomas is the coaching staff favorite, so I feel like he already has a 1-up on everybody. Although he is 29, which is not that old, but I mean like it's somewhat old. You know what I mean? We wanna go for a tight end that's gonna be here for at least 10 years. You know what I mean? And in 10 years you're gonna be 39. So I don't know how much longer he has left in the tank, and he isn't fully developed. That is a little concerning for a 29-year-old vet to not be fully developed. That's scary. So that's why I really think we should get the hats off to Thaddeus Moss. Now Thaddeus Moss, he does have to develop his hands just a tad bit in his speed and his route running, but that can come over time, especially him being a rookie. That can come over time. It's different for a guy like Logan Thomas, who has already been in the league for some time and still haven't developed those kind of skills. We can teach that to Thaddeus Moss. So that's why I really think that we should give the hats off to Thaddeus Moss. Let him or Hill Hedges be the one tight end, and then let Logan Thomas be the third. Maybe, I'm just saying, maybe I could totally be wrong about this. The team could go into a totally different direction than my opinion stated. But this is just my opinion of who is going to make the roster at tight end. We have every other position coming up too, so make sure you guys keep turning on the post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the certain position that you are worried about. Next is going to be our receivers. So I gave you my take on the tight ends that are going to make the roster. Who do you think is going to make the roster? Like, comment, subscribe, hail to the Redskins, turn on post notifications. It's been your boy Juan Gotti. I gave you my opinion. The floor is yours. Hail to the Redskins. I'm out. Peace.